Hi there, this is Dylan from British English Coach, and in this video I'm going to talk about some common responses to bad luck anecdotes. Now, if you've read my blog this week, you'll know an anecdote is a short story based on a real life event, something that's happened to you. Now, some anecdotes are based on, bad luck, bad things that have happened to people. And this week, a friend of mine told me about something bad that happened to her at an airport. So we're going to use this story to look at some typical or common responses when people tell you about a bad experience they've had. So, first of all, she flew back to her hometown and she arrived at the airport at about 9:20. And she had to catch the last bus back to her hometown, which was leaving at 9:30. And she didn't have a ticket. So she said to me, Dylan, I was really tired. It was 9:30. I was alone. I just wanted to get on the bus, go to my hometown and going to bed because it had been a long, long day and she had left her original destination about 11 hours before. So she was really tired and all she wanted to do was go back to bed. So when she told me that, I said, I'm not surprised. You had a long day. So I'm not surprised is used when we sympathise or we understand someone's situation or why they did something. Then she continued and she said that it was so hot at the airport that she was sweating and she was a bit agitated and a bit irritated because the air conditioning hadn't worked in the plane or at the airport, and that she was really stressed. And so I wanted to show her that I understood what she was going through, what she was experiencing. So I said to her, I can imagine you were very stressed. I think I would have been stressed if I were in that position too. And then she told me that she went to the bus and there were many empty seats on the bus, which was going to leave in about 5 or 6 minutes' time. So she went to the ticket office and she said she would like a ticket for the bus, and the person said to her, the person at the ticket office said there were no tickets left. And when she told me that, I thought that's unusual. Most people get on the bus and sit down, find their seat 10, 15 minutes before it leaves. So I said, how strange. So when you're surprised by something, it's very common to say, how strange. Or really? Something like that. And then she said to the person at the ticket office, I think you're mistaken. There are lots of empty seats on the bus, so I'm sure there are some tickets left. And the person apparently said to her, no, I'm positive there are no seats left, no tickets, please leave. And I thought that's really, really bad customer service. And I said to her, you can't be serious. She told you to leave? How strange. And then my friend said that she said to the woman at the ticket office, one moment, I'm sure you're mistaken. Really, I really need to get that bus because if I don't catch the bus, I won't be able to get home because it's the last bus. And apparently the woman said, go away. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Whew. And I said to my friend, you must be joking. She said that? That's crazy. That's ridiculous. So if you think something's really surprising, you must be joking, is a very common response. So my friend said she went back to the bus and she spoke to the bus driver. And he said there were empty seats, so she could just buy a ticket and she could find a seat on the bus. So she went back to the ticket office and she said that the bus driver had told her there were empty seats, and the woman wouldn't speak to her, didn't even look at her. What a nightmare, I said to my friend, because I understood that she had to get that bus in a couple of minutes. She was sweating, she was annoyed, she was irritated, she was worried because it was late at night and she wasn't going to get home. So when something really bad has happened to someone, what a nightmare, is a very common response. And so my friend, in the end, she missed her bus. The bus left 2 minutes later. She couldn't buy a ticket, even though there were lots of empty places. So she was left on the bus. And I really wanted to show that I understood that she had suffered and had a really uncomfortable experience. So we can do this by saying things like, sounds awful. Sounds awful. Remember, awful means terrible or horrible or really uncomfortable. It's quite an extreme word. And then finally, my friend had to get a hotel and she had to spend a lot of money because there weren't any rooms left at any of the cheaper hotels. So she had to stay in a 5-star hotel for one night, and it cost her a lot of money. I think about 180 British pounds. So to really show again that I sympathised, that I understood the pain that she had suffered, I said to her, poor you, poor you. Okay, so let's have a quick recap of these. Excuse me 1 second. So we can say, I'm not surprised, when we agree with someone's reaction or how they felt. I can imagine. Again, it's very, very similar. How strange when something's surprising. You can't be serious when you're really surprised. You must be joking. Again, this expresses that you're very, very surprised. What a nightmare. So you're showing that you understand that the other person has suffered or has had a really uncomfortable experience. Sounds awful. Again, it's very, very similar. And if you want to, you can finish by saying, poor you. And then maybe give them something like a drink or some chocolate, so hopefully they'll feel better. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. This is Dylan from British English Coach. And if you have a bad experience, or if someone has a bad experience and tells you about it, you can always say to them, better luck next time. Okay, so I hope to see you next time. Have a good weekend or have a good week wherever you are, and speak to you soon.